Hello, everyone, and welcome to How to Use Essential Oils in Your Daily Life and on Your Wellness Journey. We have a wonderful speaker with us today who is going to educate us about how to use essential oils safely and how to utilize them on our wellness journey. Her name is Sammi Boerner, and she is an NAHA certified aromatherapist and health and lifestyle coach. She is also the owner of Sage Mind and Body. Sammy's passion for health and wellness is driven by her own past struggles with weight, anxiety, pain disorder, and insomnia. She has learned how to help others create and maintain a healthy lifestyle and diet, as well as develop customized products that effectively help with a range of issues such as digestion, sleep, anxiety, acne, and muscle aches and pains. I can attest to Sammy's wonderfully blended oils. I actually use the anxiety one myself. I use it every day. And I bought this months ago, and I still have almost a full bottle. And as I mentioned, I use it almost every day, and it works wonders. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome our wonderful presenter, Sammi. Thanks for joining us, Sammi.
Thank you. Thanks for the intro.
You're welcome.
I'm really excited to be here to kind of share a little bit about essential oils and how they can help you through your daily life and kind of create balance, especially right now with everything that's happening around us. We can all use a little balance. And it sounds like you guys are either cancer survivors or caregivers, and that can be extremely difficult to take care of people and yourselves. So I'm going to kind of go over how to use essential oils and to kind of put yourself first and really find that strength and that balance. So to start out, I want to do a meditation. I really want us to be calm in our bodies and feel grounded throughout this, so we can kind of absorb the information. And I don't want you to go out of this and think, oh my gosh, she said I need essential oils for this, 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 and this, and I need to do all of it. It doesn't have to be all at once. It can be one thing here or there. Like Talea said, even just using the anxiety relief blend or finding one oil that might help you is perfect. You don't have to go out and buy all of the oils after this presentation. So I really want to do a grounding meditation, and I feel like it's really fitting for right now and difficult times and everything, all the unknowns right now. So if everyone wants to just kind of sit comfortably, you can just stay seated wherever you are. And if possible, if you could plant your feet on the ground. If you were sitting cross-legged, that's comfortable too. For grounding, I like to really plant my feet into the ground. So I want you to just feel the support beneath you. And when you're comfortable, just allow your eyes to close, or if that's not comfortable for you, just have a soft gaze on one point and just bring your attention and your awareness to your breath. Allow your breath to flow easily and naturally, and feel the cool air flowing in and the warm air flowing out. As you sit here feeling supported by the ground or chair beneath you, visualize a beautiful mountain. Picture the overall shape, the sloping sides, the colors, and all the beautiful details. Notice how massive it is, how solid, how unmoving, how beautiful. Whether from afar or up close, this mountain is stable, connected, and grounded in the earth. Now bring that mountain into your own body. Grounded in this sitting posture, your head becomes the lofty peaks, supported by the rest of your body. Your shoulders and arms are the sides of the mountain. Your buttocks and legs are the solid base of the mountain. You are rooted into the ground or the chair beneath you, experiencing that sense of stability. With each breath, as you continue sitting, becoming a little more a breathing mountain, alive and vital, yet unwavering in your stillness, completely what you are, beyond words and thoughts. You are a centered, grounded, unmoving presence. As you sit here grounded, you simply observe everything happening around you. The sun and the moon travel across the sky. The colors change moment by moment. Weather and patterns change. Storms roll through, and seasons pass before you. In our lives, we constantly experience changes of the mind, body, and the outer world. We experience inner storms of varying intensity, violence in the outer world and in our minds and bodies, and we endure periods of darkness and pain, as well as moments of joy and happiness. Even our appearance changes, experiencing a weather of its own. By becoming this mountain in this meditation, we can link up with its strength and stability and adopt them for our own. We can use its energy to support us in everything that we do. No matter what is happening around you, you are rooted, you are stable, you are connected, and you are grounded. Slowly bring your focus back to your breath. Feel the cool air flowing in and the warm air flowing out. Take 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more, the deepest breath you've taken all day. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly start to bring movement back into your body by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe roll out your wrists or your ankles. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes and come back into the room. I really wanted to start with that because it really helps when you're taking in all of this information to be grounded and to not be so much in your head, kind of pull those thoughts down and feel that stability. And the visualization of the mountain really helps to realize all of these things are happening around us and we're still here. All of these things are happening to us and to other people, and we're witnessing all of these changes and we're still here. And just taking a few minutes to realize this and just imagine that mountain never disappears. It's always there. And so are we. So I really wanted to start with that. And now we will get into the essential oils part of it. I love to incorporate essential oils into meditation. I feel like a daily meditation practice for me works perfectly. I know meditation isn't for everyone, but that's why I like to do a visualization practice. It's not just sitting in your own head and sitting in that silence and meditating. It's really picturing things around you and relating to other situations. So with essential oils, we will kind of switch gears here. Essential oils, obviously you have all used them before, which is great. And just to kind of explain what they are, it's a super small little bottle of essential oils, it's a highly concentrated amount of plant material. So all of these plants, you can think of like twigs and flowers and leaves and roots. All these different parts of the plant can be used to create essential oils. And it's all based on kind of the type of plant and how it's being harvested and how it's being created into an essential oil. And there's two different really common ways to create essential oils, and I'll kind of go over how they do that. So distillation is the first process, which is the most common one. And what they do is they take those plant materials, so they pick what they're working with. We're going to use, let's just use a root, for example. So we'll use vetiver. So for vetiver, they're going to take the roots of that plant and they're going to put it through the distillation process. And what that is in the distiller, there is a like metal grate in the middle. Underneath it is water. And above it, you put all of those roots. You put all of that plant material. And they heat that water. It creates a steam. And it goes through that grate, through the plant material, and then up through a tube. And it kind of cools down and creates that essential oil. So this water is being forced through those plants, and the essential oil molecules in that plant is being carried through that cooling process and turns into a liquid. Some plants create two liquids, which are the essential oil and the hydrosol. And as it cools down, it separates into hydrosol is water-based and the essential oil is oil-based. So hydrosols are super gentle. So they're still highly concentrated, but they're not like the essential oil. If you are thinking of like, a lot of people use like a rose water mist for your face, that's usually created with a hydrosol, not with essential oils, because it's so much more gentle on the skin. And hydrosols, most of them can also be used internally safely because they're not near as concentrated and they're water soluble, so they actually absorb into water. Whereas essential oils, if you put them in water, they're going to sit right on top of the water and they're never going to mesh. You can definitely create like mists and things that will kind of create, and you can shake it and use it as a spritzer, is one way to use essential oils and water and kind of create that mixture. And we'll go into how to use them in a little bit, but that kind of explains how it's created into that essential oil and or that hydrosol. We're going to focus on the essential oils. The other way to create essential oils is using the expression. And with expression, if you think of, they use this for citrus oils. So if you think of an orange peel, if you take that peel and you twist it, it sprays all of these little molecules in this liquid, and that's the essential oil. So they take that orange peel and they put it through a high pressure system and it squeezes out those essential oil molecules from the peel. Citrus oils can also be created using distillation, but most of the time they're created using expression. So distillation and expression, those are the two ways essential oils are created. And if you think of the amount of plant material in one bottle or one drop, we're going to use one drop as an example of essential oil. So lemon essential oil, one drop is equivalent to 3 lemons, approximately 3 lemons. And if you think of one drop of peppermint essential oil, it's equivalent to almost 28 cups of peppermint tea. And when we go back and we touch on internal use, we'll touch on that. But I just wanted to make sure that you realize like that's how concentrated they are. They are 28 cups of peppermint tea in one drop of essential oil. So that's why when you get a bottle of pure essential oil, it can be expensive. And that's because of the amount of material in that bottle. So each essential oil has its own chemical breakdown that will show you the healing properties of essential oils. So if you think of peppermint essential oil as an example, that has a complete chemical breakdown and shows you the healing properties of it. So peppermint is really anti-inflammatory. It's really good at reducing inflammation. It's really good for digestion. It's really good at improving circulation. And so each essential oil has its own properties, and it'll help you kind of determine which essential oil to use based on that kind of blueprint of the essential oil. When people are buying essential oils, this essential oil, that chemical breakdown can vary by how the plant is created, so where it's grown and how it's treated, and how it is harvested. So when you're looking for essential oils, you want to make sure you're looking for something that is organic as kind of the first choice. Wild harvested, which means that it's taken from the wild, it's not treated, or unsprayed, which means it's from a farm that does not use any kind of herbicide or pesticide to grow that plant. And the reason you want it to be super clean is because it is such a concentrated product. Especially if you're using it internally, I would make sure it is an organic essential oil, because with the amount of plant material you are getting, you don't want that to have pesticides in it, because you're putting that on your body, or you're taking it in aromatically and you're smelling it, and all of those toxins can get stored in the body. So with essential oils, I really try to make sure that you're purchasing something that's clean. And a lot of the times, if you go to like a local co-op, they usually filter through all of the products on their shelf, and they usually pick very clean products. So if you're looking for something to pick up locally, because there's so many different brands and out there that it's hard to know what to buy, I would go to your local co-op, and most of the times they will have an organic essential oil that you can use. And they usually have probably 2 or 3 different brands. And each brand, because each essential oil is harvested and distilled, everything is done different. Every plant has different properties based on where it's grown and how it's grown. So if you smell peppermint from one brand, it's going to smell different from another brand probably. It might be very minor, but a lot of the times it will smell different. So if you have 2 brands that you can't really decide which one's a better quality, just smell them both and pick which one smells better to you. There's not really a wrong one to use. It's not that one brand is better than another. It could just be that where that plant was harvested was at a different altitude and smells different. So I like to keep that in mind, as just organic, wild harvested, or unsprayed are kind of the 3 things I look for. The brand that I use in my business is Still Point Aromatics, which is a super small company in Arizona, and they hand pick their distillers and their farmers. So they have relationships with all of these people, and they know that the processes that they use are clean. So I trust them, I love them, but there are so many brands out there, and I wouldn't pick one brand to tell you to use. It's totally personal preference. Just trying to make sure that it's something clean that you are using, because again, you're putting it on your body and it is super concentrated. When working with essential oils, they are fourfold. I like to think of them as they have 4 different ways that they can be used to help you. And again, they don't treat or cure disease, but they can significantly help reduce symptoms. So I deal with anxiety. It's not going to cure my anxiety, but it can help calm my mind and calm my nervous system. So I don't expect to put on an essential oil and it fixes everything. It doesn't, but it does help, like with the anxiety blend that I use and just put on before this actually. I have an oil that's grounding. I have an oil that's uplifting, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself. And so you basically pick and choose what symptom or what concern or what emotion that you're really looking at working on, and picking an essential oil based on that. So when I talk about it being fourfold, it can help physically. So if you're thinking like antimicrobial, can kill bacteria, anti-inflammatory, it can reduce inflammation in the body, it can help heal wounds. That's all on a physical level. Essential oils can help on a physical level, 100%. They're not just a pretty smell. They have so many healing properties behind them. So physical level, then we move on to the mental and emotional level. So you think of helping with anxiety, helping with depression, helping balance you. So just feeling balanced and grounded, that's all on a mental and emotional level. And then spiritual. Some essential oils are great for meditation and really connecting you to the unconscious and the invisible. So whatever word you use for that, whether it's universe or God or divine, whatever word you use for that, it can help you connect to that invisible and link us to the unconscious. And then nature. It is a plant in a bottle, and we don't get out enough in nature. So using essential oils really helps to connect to nature without going on a walk, or which you should do too. But essential oils are a great, easy way to kind of connect your body to nature and to Mother Earth. So that's how I see it fourfold. Helps physically, helps mentally and emotionally, spiritually, and helps connect to nature. There are so many ways to use essential oils, and I don't know what my favorite is. I love using them always, but aromatically, and when I say that, I mean smelling the essential oil. So this could be putting it in a diffuser. Maybe you have a diffuser. There's a couple different kinds of diffusers. The most common one is kind of like a bowl that has water in it, and you put the essential oils in there, and then it creates a steam. And what that does is it disperses those essential oil molecules into the air for you to smell. And when you smell it, it goes directly to your brain, and it works with, depending on the essential oil and the healing properties, if you're working on something to reduce anxiety, it's going to go to your brain and it's going to work on calming your nervous system. So you can put it in a diffuser. You can take a couple drops, put it in the palms of your hands, rub them together, and I call it a scent tent. Just put your hands over your nose and take deep breaths. If I am on the go and I need help for some reason, whether it's I am going to an event and I'm feeling super anxious, or maybe I'm really in my head and I need to get more grounded, I will put a couple drops in the palms of my hand. It's easy to do, quick to do, and just take a few deep breaths and just feel centered. You can also just take the essential oil bottle and wave it underneath your nose and take in deep breaths that way as well. Whatever resonates with you most, or depending on the situation and where you're at. Maybe you don't have the ability, like I used to volunteer in a senior housing facility, and I couldn't have anything scented on me. So before I would go in, I would take that bottle and I would just take deep breaths from the bottle, and then I'm not bringing in that scent with me. And then topically is another way to use them. So topically, you can put essential oils basically anywhere on the outside of your body, and it's all based on your goals. So if you are looking to work on your digestion, you're going to apply them most likely directly to your stomach. And you can do that. I recommend, when using topically, to dilute it with a carrier oil. And when I say carrier oil, I mean any kind of vegetable or seed oil. So you think like coconut oil, jojoba oil, avocado oil. You could even use olive oil, whatever you have available to you. All of those oils help to carry the essential oil deeper into the skin. So you have 3 different layers on your skin. And if I put essential oil just right on my arm, it will absorb somewhat into my arm. But if I put it with the carrier oil, that carrier oil is going to bring it deeper into the skin, into those 3 layers, and is going to have more of an effect. And if you do it that way, you will use less essential oil. So it's also going to be more cost effective. In my opinion, less is more with essential oils. Diluting them is the best way to use it, and it's the safest way to use them. Since they are so concentrated, they can cause allergic reactions, they can cause redness and irritation, and it's all based on what essential oil. If you're using a lavender essential oil, it's very gentle and it's probably not going to cause any reaction unless you're allergic to it. But if you use something like a peppermint or a wintergreen, those are a little bit stronger, and those might cause some redness or irritation depending on how much you're using. So safest way and most effective way if you're using it topically is to dilute the essential oil. And like I said, you can really place them anywhere on your body. It's all based on your goal. But the bottoms of your feet have the most open pores on your body. So if you touch the skin on the bottom of your foot, it's completely different skin that's on the rest of your body. And it absorbs, it has those open pores and it's ready to accept essential oils. So there's so many different places on the bottom of your feet that you can apply essential oils. If you want to really, really get into it, you can look up, it's called reflexology. And it'll show you a map of the bottom of your foot, and each part of your foot, whether it's a toe or the arch of your foot, each part of your foot relates to a certain organ. So if you really, really want to get in depth with it and you're working on something really specific, you can look up that reflexology report or chart and see where to place that essential oil. So if I am working on adrenal fatigue and I'm really trying to hone in on that adrenal health, I might look up a reflexology chart and find out where to place that essential oil to boost my adrenals. But if I'm just looking for general wellness or anxiety relief, or I don't know what organ I'm working with, you can place it anywhere on the bottom of your feet and it will absorb into your skin. I like to place most essential oils on the arch of my feet. But again, you can really place it anywhere. It's going to be effective. Unless you're looking for super, super specific, then you can really dig in and see where to go. But again, I would say less is more. I would not, if you're looking for pain relief, peppermint and wintergreen are great essential oils, but I wouldn't just grab a bottle of peppermint and just start massaging it. I would put it in a lotion, or I would put it in a carrot oil beforehand. And it'll help bring that deeper into the skin, especially for pain relief. You really want to dilute it so it can really get through to those muscles. And then we go to internal use. So internal use is kind of a hot topic. A lot of people use essential oils internally and have not had side effects, and that's great. However, with my training, I am a level 1 certified aromatherapist, and I'm signed up to do an internal use, but I'm kind of a little hesitant because I know they can harm. I mean, when they're used internally, like I said earlier, 1 drop of peppermint oil is 28 cups of peppermint tea. I would never drink 28 cups of peppermint tea in one day. So to put 1 drop in a glass of water just blows my mind. I would never even consider it. But a lot of people don't know how concentrated they are. So until you hear kind of that comparison, and like 1 drop of lemon essential oils, 3 lemons, I would never drink 3 lemons in a day. So it's just be cautious if you're using them internally. There are safe ways to do it. There are like gummies or capsules or things that you can create that are safe, but it takes multiple levels of training to get to that point. Because essential oils can be harmful. They can interact with medications and conditions that you may have. So wintergreen is my best example. Wintergreen should not be used by someone that is on blood thinners, because wintergreen naturally thins your blood. So if you're on blood thinners and you're using wintergreen consistently, you're going to thin your blood even more, which is unhealthy, and you don't want that to happen. So not all essential oils are 100% safe, especially when used internally. So just be sure that when you're using essential oils, you're being cautious, or you're researching whether it is safe for you to use, just due to the concentration of it. But like I said, most don't have contraindications, but I would definitely look into it before using them consistently and in higher amounts. So now we will kind of go on to how essential oils can help kind of, I talked to Talia and she sent me a list of things that I've never gone through cancer and I honestly have not had a family member near close to me that I have had to take care of that has had cancer. So I can't even imagine the things that you experience and see. And so I reached out to her and had her kind of give me some things that maybe might be helpful to go over on how they can help you as a caregiver or a cancer survivor or someone with cancer right now. So stress is probably the first thing that comes to mind. Finding essential oils that can relieve stress. And with each of these, I have listed, which with all these topics, I have listed 3 essential oils on the PDF. And there are so many more than 3 essential oils, but I picked 3 kind of essential oils that might be used regularly or might be easily found locally. So when you think of stress relief, I kind of think of citrus oils are really uplifting. And so they kind of help reduce that overwhelm and exhaustion. And then also grounding plants. So vetiver is a root plant. So if you've ever done the meditation where you imagine you're standing with your feet planted on the ground and you're imagining those roots coming out of your feet and you're super connected to the ground, that's what I mean when I say grounding. And those root essential oils are exactly what that is. They're rooting the plant to the ground. They're keeping that plant stable. So anything, if you are constantly running all of these thoughts through your mind, which I imagine you are when you are dealing with cancer, finding a grounding oil and just kind of bringing yourself into that present moment. Any of these essential oils, again, you can use aromatically, you can use topically, you can also put them in a bath, especially for stress relief and sleep. I think a lot of people like to take a bath to unwind. And so these essential oils will help with that as well. So then going on to anxiety, Clary Sage is quite possibly one of my favorite essential oils. If you've ever thought of like burning sage and clearing that energy, this is just another version, another type of sage that can be used. So Clary Sage is really good at, again, clearing that energy, clearing the mind, and kind of being uplifting and bringing in that self-love. And it's made with the flower. So when you think of a flower, you think of love and compassion. And so it kind of helps with that, kind of connecting with yourself and clearing all of those thoughts. And I'm not going to go through each one of these. I'm going to kind of pick and choose just based on time. But if you have any questions on any of these specific essential oils or any of these topics, feel free to reach out to me. And we'll go over questions in a little bit too. So if you think of anything, just jot it down and we can chat about it. I'm going to go into sleep. Sleep is super important for everyone. If you are not sleeping well, you're not digesting well, your immune system isn't as strong, sleep affects every aspect of your body. And I know if I don't sleep well, I am anxious the next day. Like 100%, I know if I'm anxious, I didn't sleep well last night. And so finding essential oils and practices that can help you sleep deeper will help your body heal better. So lavender is probably the top one you will hear people use for sleep. It's super calming. It really works to calm the mind and the body. And it also just like really preps your body for that deep rest and relaxation. So I love to diffuse lavender, and I also love to diffuse Roman chamomile. So there's multiple different types of chamomile. I prefer Roman chamomile for sleep. And then I love to use vetiver because it is that root essential oil. And I don't know if it's everyone, but when I go to bed, I'm thinking of what happened today. I'm thinking of what's happening tomorrow. I'm thinking of what's happening for next week. And I just need to stop that. And so vetiver really helps me just calm down and really feel rooted and grounded. And I am sure along your journey, you will experience some anger and frustration. And whenever I think of one of these, we'll call it a symptom, whenever I think of one of these symptoms, so thinking of anger, I'm going to think of what is the opposite of angry. To me, the opposite of angry is loved and accepted and kind of calm. So it's just kind of, anytime I have a symptom, I think of the opposite. And then I find an essential oil that helps with that. So for anger, geranium is super healing for the heart. So if you think of any emotional trauma that you might have, geranium is probably the perfect essential oil for you to use. And if you notice, for the anger category, all of the ones I picked are flowers. So geranium, lavender, and ylang-ylang are all flowers. And that's how the essential oil is produced, is with that flower. So really working on the heart and that acceptance and being open to love and accepting love. Anytime I'm using flowers, I think of love. I mean, think of a rose. You give someone roses when you love them. And so it's really just focusing on releasing that anger and that denial and healing that trauma that you might have experienced. Maybe there's that first time you heard you have cancer, you're angry and you're frustrated and you're confused. And when you work on love and accepting love, realizing you are loved, everyone around you is loved. And just realizing that you can let go of some of that anger, and it will be difficult and it will be a journey, I'm sure. But just being able to work on that a little bit and finding essential oils that might help you throughout that journey. And I just want to touch on essential oils. Some people do not like the scent of all essential oils. I should say everyone will have at least one oil that they don't like. And in my mind, that's the essential oil that you need. I find that chamomile is one that I am not a huge fan of, but I know that I need it. I know that I need that calming, and it's also anti-inflammatory. So if I'm finding that I might have a muscle tight, maybe my trap is tight, I'll use some Roman chamomile. But I don't love the smell. So if I have something that I don't like the smell, but I want the benefits of it, I will put it on the bottom of my feet. I'm obviously not smelling my feet throughout the day, so I'm not going to notice that scent, but I'm still going to be getting the benefits from it because it's being absorbed into the skin. So again, anything that you might not like, but you know you need the healing properties of it, apply it to your feet. It will be effective. So I think that should cover everything I wanted to. And like I said, the PDF does have different concerns and emotions and which essential oils that are helpful for it. I also lastly want to show this book. It's going to be the wrong direction, but it is called Emotions and Essential Oils. And it is, let me see who the author is on here. I don't know who the author is. It's called Emotions and Essential Oils, a reference guide for emotional healing. And I bought this on Amazon a couple years ago, and it is extremely helpful when you are working on emotions. So like, let's say if I go flip to Clary Sage, it'll have a kind of couple paragraphs on how it can help you. And then also the negative emotions, the positive emotions, and what essential oils blend well with it. So I love this. It's like, for example, Clary Sage. Positive properties are spiritual clarity, intuitive, open-minded, imaginative, and spiritually discerning. And then the negative emotions are confused, darkness, spiritually disconnected, hopeless, and blocked creativity. And then it also has in the back, it has an emotion index that you can go through. Let's say you're feeling angry. You can go to anger and you can see the different essential oils they might recommend. So this is a really good resource that I love and use all of the time for the emotional side of essential oils. And then there's not really a specific book I use for the healing properties physically, but Google is a great resource. I'm a great resource in my opinion. And there are so many essential oils out there that can help you throughout this journey. And I invite you to kind of experiment with a few. Just start small. Don't go out and buy a whole collection tonight and get overwhelmed with it. Just start small and ask questions and just be curious about it and just start small and see how they're helping you. So thank you so much for letting me be here. I'm so excited, and I think we will open things up to questions for a few minutes.
Hi, Sammi. Thank you so much for joining us today and providing all of that wealth of information. It's been great. I do want to mention that you can find out more about Sage Mind and Body. Her website is sagemindandbodymn.com. Sage Mind and Body is also on Instagram and Facebook. And Sammi also has a book, Essential Oils for Promoting Weight Loss. And you can also find that book on Amazon as well. Again, Sammi, thank you so much for joining us and giving us all of that great information and also additional references. What you do is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to put the title of that emotions book in the chat in case anyone wants to go back to that.
Thank you.